Hey YouTube, a bass video one isn't mine. It's like unlike every other bass player kicking about. The guy from the Bucky Rage, I'm actually wearing the Bucky t-shirt, got his guitar set up, well, his bass set up, well done. Yeah, so this is an airline. It's not an original, it's 2014, so I mean it's an airline. It's kind of hollow at bits. 2 volumes and a tone. This is a tone switch, which it says in big letters on it. It's actually just a pickup selector, like a Telecaster. I think you can get a Telecaster knob on it. So you get neck pickup, both pickups, bridge pickup. Yes, I don't know, either the Bucky Rage bass player is incredibly tall or he plays the bass really, really low down. I mean, I would have it here. But no. So. Actually, for the Sabbath band, I was looking up Geezer Butler and he kind of plays it like this. He kind of, if you imagine being a guitarist and having the neck where it feels like a guitar, obviously I would have the bass here, so it's far away. Whereas if you've got it like a guitar and you kind of sort of wear it sideways, kind of like that, which I should probably do for the Sabbath band, just so I look more geezery. So we've got 2 humbuckers in it. A sort of tunematic type bridge. Well, actually, I wonder, does that give us... Not really. I'm trying to think, because that's obviously sitting high up. I have to say, see, if I had this, I would be tempted to try and fit a bar to that. Because if you had a bit of leverage on that, welded a piece of metal on like that, you could get a bit of a wibble, like a Bixby or something like that. Why does it not want to focus on me? Yes, it's not my eyes. So I mean, I'm going for its full scale. It must be a 34. It feels like it. Really, I'm actually quite enjoying having it really stupidly low down like this. It's not. It's a 30-inch scale. There you go. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely full scale. So 34. Nope, the 30-inch scale. So it's a short scale bass. There's nothing feels short scale about this. It's huge. I suppose part of that is look at where the bridge is. Whereas on okay, that's not a P bass, but you know what I mean. It's like the bridge is. That's a full scale, 34-inch, but the bridge is quite close to the body, whereas the bridge in this one is that much. So you've got an extra. Especially on like a P bass, that's not quite a P bass, but a P bass and a jazz bass, the bridge is sitting slap bang on the back edge of the guitar. You know, it's like less than an inch away from the back of the guitar, so the bridge would be here, which is kind of why this. It's not smaller, it's a shorter scale, but it's full bass size. This is the same. String length short, overall similar. It's really low down, isn't it? This bit here actually reminds me a bit of a BC Rich. Is it an Eagle? This bit doesn't. But if you kind of cover up that, there's a BC Rich that's kind of got that very similar looking thing. And I'd imagine this is a 60s guitar, or it's a 2014 reissue of a 60s guitar, so might have been before. In fact, even that bit there. In fact, it's actually not entirely un-BC Rich shaped. Although it is baby blue and it does look not metal. The BC Riches tend to look very metal. Decent tuners, binding, fancy abalone inlay. I quite like. See, some things that impress me in these things. Like, see the scratch plates in a really weird place, and it's got these cool stripes on it. I don't know, it's style over substance, but I like it. It doesn't do any damage to the function of the guitar. It's also got a first fret dot, which I don't think you normally get. Not on that one anyway. Either that or I just never noticed. It totally doesn't feel like a short scale though. I mean, we're talking here my wee red bass. It's the same scale length as my wee red bass. That I was playing at the weekend there. And it. There you go. It's the same as an EBO and all that. Actually, not that far. Like a real EBO, not an Epiphone EBO, like an actual. I've got a Gibson one. It's kind of. No, it's still got much more treble. It's much more usable than an actual EBO. I'm trying to get over this extreme uncomfort of playing this so low down. I think this guy put brand new strings on it before he gave me the guitar. It seemed really nice. Back up. Tone doesn't seem to do as much. How do you do it? It's like, can't reach the tone control. Well, maybe it does. And it's like the bridge is absolutely maxed out that way. It's intoned just. Maybe that gets in the way when he's playing it that low, unless the guy's huge. bass is so much fun to play. Just play. Everyone seems to fit in the bass. You just play it long enough and it keeps going. Random note. This one. Never used G sharp ever. Stained class. Quite Jimmy. You kind of feel it's a 30-inch scale when you're playing here. I need to get some songs with some hoys in it. For some reason I'm playing a lot of things that go. Aye. Got this far without paying any Sabbath at all, eh? about that. The Restive Native song, Big Country. It definitely goes. So, what I'm playing through there is got the Moore drummer pedal playing on the floor, coming through my Marshall 150 watt. I keep calling it MB, just a B150. And going through a Pi fuzz pedal. I've got a splitter box that's running through the guitar amp as well. That's how I'm getting the fuzz. Which is just as much fun, but when you play the fuzz without the bass amp, oh, the bass amp's still on. No, I can actually select it off here, can't I? Nope. Yeah, so here it is without the bass amp. it's a lot of fun to play this particular bass. It's not one I would choose to use in the Sabbath band, I don't think. If it was, I would take it into the studio anyway just to annoy the rest of the band and go, how do you get this? But it's quite good, it's quite loud. It's sort of semi, I don't know if it's been semi-hollow, it's definitely hollow-ish, kind of kicking about there. It does seem to give it a bit more air. It's really nice getting an interesting bass in. I'm afraid, being a bass player myself, there's not that many basses I actually like the look of. Never mind the playing. I mean, there's plenty of the ones that I actually just sold one, a Stag one to my pal Taylor, which plays great. Great hardware. It's a Stag. It's just ugly as sin. Basses tend to be minging. So many basses are minging. One of the ones, I've actually got another bass in I've forgotten about until right now. I've got a Thunderbird, which I actually like the look of, but I don't like plain Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are, I got it described to me as like a front door with a neck on it, and it's like, ever since someone described it to me, that kind of feels like a front door with a neck on it. Very overly big. I love the look of the EBO, but they don't play well. Even the good ones, the real ones, they're not very good. But what I want's a P bass. Just give me a P bass. And I've got variations of a P bass. I'm still arguing that that's a P bass. It's not quite P bass shape, but it's the same scale. It's got a 4-side headstock, and the P bass pickups a P bass, which is the one I'm used to. But it is quite interesting having this. Part of this might actually be the fact it's down so damn low, and it's almost like it doesn't, like, don't turn that tone. I can't actually reach it. There you go, and get it. It's like contort yourself to actually get to the controls on your bass. I was a little bit disappointed as well, to be honest, with the tone select, this tone switch. What was it? Different caps. I thought maybe something fancy going on. No, it's just a pickup. It's just that pickup, or both. Which is fair enough, and a volume and a tone. The two volumes and a tone. So I suppose you could blend between the two sounds, but I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not really a blender, but I suppose there's not that much difference between the two pickups, I don't think, really. Both of them on. I suppose there'll be sweet spots for turned down. Right there. You get a wee bit more out of it. Do the kind of jazz bass thing, where you just basically have both pickups up full. When you get a wee, between sort of 8 and 10, there's a wee bit of a, doesn't seem to do anything until you get to between 8 and 10, there's a wee bit of a, wee bit of tone in there, but not a lot. So there you go, Mr. Bassman. Half-hour video, just because I'm overjoyed and excited about back to actually playing a bass I've never played before. I quite like the look of it. I'd imagine they're probably quite expensive now because they're so cool. The cool factor makes it worth more. But it's actually quite a solid bass. I would like to think this was like 300 quid or 250, 300 quid, something like that, which it probably was new, but I'd imagine you probably pay a lot more than that for it. Just because it's a little bit ornate, a little bit fancy and stuff like that. It'd be, the equivalent Squier P bass or something like that will be a more solid instrument, I would imagine, whatever the price is. You can look at the Squier P bass is probably half the price of this when it's at this level. But look at it. I mean, that's all part of it. When you're stuck playing the bass, you need all the perks you can get. I'm going to try and do next time we go to the studio, I might take an incredibly long strap and see if I can do the Geezer Butler kind of stand with the guitar in a bass position. Rock on! Catch you later.